Hello, welcome to the AT channel. I'm your host, David.
And I'm Boris.
And we are ready for a bit of 30k AT.
Clash of the Titans.
Oh, see what we've done there. Even forgot the name of my own show. All right, so what are we doing in this one, Boris?
It's a bit of a weird mishmash. It's our sort of patented AT, but at 30k rules, but AT scale.
Yes.
So we have some big toys that would normally take up a town hall's worth of space. And we're managing to recreate on this little 4x4.
Yeah, I love 30k AT. The main reason is everyone's got these really big, amazing models now from the Adeptus Titanicus range. I can't afford a Warlord or a couple of Reavers and a whole Knight household. And all we've done is we've exchanged inches for centimetres, and we're using all the 30k rules, 28mm models in Adeptus Titanicus scale. We've done this a couple of times before.
Yeah, a few Christmas specials, and then once or twice for some other little things.
Yes. Now, a quick note on this. This will become more prevalent on the channel because there's some stuff coming from a guy who 3D prints stuff, and there might be some vehicles and some other bits and bobs, and it will be a great opportunity to do a larger scale 10k tank battle versus a couple of Titans and Knights, and then we can go down to a 3k game, do a 500 point zone mortalis that has an effect on something else and something else. So much bigger campaigns that we can do on a much larger scale. So this is why I love 30k AT.
Yeah, absolutely. It just lets you bring those ridiculously overpowered things and do matchups that you wouldn't be able to do without investing some serious time and money into the hobby, which is great if you can do it, but for us mere mortals, it isn't achievable yet.
It's not going to happen. But the other thing as well is when you go to a club and they have these massive weekend-long apocalypse games, someone always brings a Warlord, but they never die. Maybe there's like one game in the world where one died, but you know, it's just shooting chunks of stuff out. So my argument here is, if I bring a Knight household, can a Knight household take down a Warlord Titan? I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll find out. Oh God! So if we have a quick look at the Warlord, you've got 30 hull points.
Yeah, plus void shields on top of that.
6 void shields.
Yeah.
And anything that gets through the shield and goes onto the superstructure, you've got a 5-up invuln as well.
Yeah, and then even in close combat, you only hit on 5s, which would normally be 6s, but because you're super heavies, you do get to hit on a 5. But yeah, bonkers stuff.
I think it's going to be really, really tough. I'm hoping the Knights will make a dent into the Warlord, but I'm not hopeful. However, if we look at the Knights, we've got 3 Styrics, 3 Magira, 6 hull points between them. So 6 is 36, plus 7 for the Atropos. So we're up in the 40. So we've got more hull points, but one of those Knights can be killed with 1 round shot from your weapons. Possibly,
yeah. We've got the Gatling Blaster, which won't one-shot Knights, but will do a good job at stripping them away. But the Carapace mounted, the laser weapons, those are D weapons, so we are in with a chance. We roll at 6, we can one-shot those Knights, plus the Power Claw. Obviously, the Titan is hoping it won't be used. I think we're probably weaker in melee, but you never know. I think that's where you're going to get in, and if so, we might end up with a Titan backhanding some Knights away.
Yeah. Now, you might say to us, well, why haven't you used Cerastus Knights? Because they obviously have the flank march special roll, 3d6 if you don't shoot, because gaining ground on that wall will be really essential earlier on in the game. But I'm a Mechanicum player at heart, and for me, the ridged Carapace with the Atropos as like the leader, and the 3 little Styrics and the 3 Magira, to me, that just says cool.
Yeah, and they're the newer Knights from Forge World. They're lovely, and they haven't been on the channel yet from memory. So
no,
yeah, great to see.
Here we go. So fingers crossed. It's a bit of a wild ride, so we'll see what happens. But I think it'll be fun. It's completely custom, so I think there's about 140 points difference in my favour.
Yeah, not too much though.
No.
No.
And what else? All we're going to do, victory points will be on how many hull points you cause.
Yeah, hull points lost either side. So if you take 20 off the warlord, that's 20 points to you. And if I kill 3 knights, that's 18. Hull points, 18 VPs to the warlord side. So that's it.
One final thing as well is Boris could quite easily just sit back with his warlord and blast, but we're going to encourage him to move towards the city because that's the final goal. And if we look at the battlefield, you'll see that really large, rock in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's going to force you to go one of two ways.
Yeah, I'm going to have to pick my route. The sort of vague backstory we come up with is the Legio Noctilus dispatched a warlord to punch through the city, and the knights are riding out to keep him away. So I think we're going to move forward. It's probably worth us. I could hold back and sort of shoot, but your knights are going to be so fast and be able to split that it's probably not a good idea to sort of sit back in the corner because you'll just get around me anyway. So we'll see. As we say, the inches of centimeters. So I'm only moving 12 centimeters a turn, which on a 4-foot table is just tiny. So I'm going to have to use my movement cleverly, basically. Yeah,
and also as well, if the warlord just sat at the back of the field, it wouldn't be much fun. And we want to kind of show maybe that if we do have to portion off the warlord to one side, that the knights might have the advantage to get around the back and maybe strip a few more hull points that they may not have already stripped off. Excuse me, if they'd come from the front. So it's a bit of fun. So please bear that in mind. Now, at the moment, you choose to deploy first, go first.
Yeah, warlord went first.
All right. Well, we're going to give it a whirl. So we've got a dice cam now because I know you love these dice rolls. So wish me luck. Oh, it's a 1. God damn it. All right, we'll go into your turn.
Legio Noctilus first turn. Attacking the city is the Warlord Titan Ardent Fury of Legio Noctilus. It has been equipped with a macro Gatling blaster, an Ariok power claw, and carapace mounted Reaver laser blasters.
Defending the city is a Knight Lance from House Malanax. Leading the Knight Lance is a Mechanicum Cerastus Knight Atropos. It's equipped with a Graviton Singularity Cannon and an Atropos Las Cutter. Also joining him are 3 Questorus Knight Styrics. They're equipped with a large Volkite weapon that nobody can pronounce, a Graviton gun, and a Hecaton Siege Claw. They also have an Ionic Flare Shield and Blessed Auto Simulacra. Lastly, there are 3 Questorus Knight Magira, all equipped with Lightning Cannons, Phase Plasma Fusils, Hecaton Siege Claw, Ionic Flare Shield, and Blessed Auto Simulacra.
Noctilus turn 1 movement, and we make our attack on the city. Chose the right avenue, and we're moving ourselves into a position to fire. Noctilus turn 1 shooting, and we're out of range on the macro Gatling blaster and the Vulcan. So the carapace mounted laser blasters takes aim at the middle knight on the right flank and fires all of its shots. 6 shots, rolled for scatters, 5 hit, and only 1 scattered off into the distance, which is really great news. We now have 5 rolls on the destroyer table. Okay, not too bad. So 1 does nothing, that's a 1, and we have 4 D3 hull points. However, the knights do get a armor save, or an invuln save.
Ion shield. We're quite lucky to escape that, I think. 4 ups. Oh, wowzers. Nice. Okay, so 1 gets through.
1 gets through and does D3 hull points. 2. Okay, we'll take that. 2 hull points. End of Noctilus turn 1. A little disappointing to only do a single hull point, but we did strike the first blood, and now we have those knights to come to us.
House Malanax turn 1 movement did really well to only suffer 1 hull point from the fury of that Warlord Titan. The majority of the knights have made a bit of a push off to the right hand side there, with the Atropos kind of going down the middle. The 1 that took fire has kind of moved up centrally to gain some cover from that large rock, and then this solitary knight has broken off from the pack, and he will act as a bit of a decoy. We'll see if the Warlord will take the bait. House Malanax turn 1 shooting phase. There is no shooting, and these Styrics have ran forwards, 2 on the left, 4 in the middle, and 2 on the right. The Atropos managed a mighty 13 centimeters on its run move, getting into a really great position to block fire from that Warlord Titan. Finally, to the left of your screen, the Magira ran 5, the one up front ran 3, and the one that had taken a whole point had moved 2 in its run move. End of House Malanax turn 1. Not a bad start to the game. All we've got to do now is the repair roll for the Blessed Altar Simulacra on the Magira. We need a 6 up to get the whole point back. Oh wow, look at that. Back to full health.
Turn 2 movement for Noctilus, carried on pushing down our right flank, and we're going to bring our guns to bear in the shooting phase. Noctilus turn 2 shooting, starting with the laser blasters on the carapace. We're going to see if we can inflict some nasty damage again. 6 shots rang out, 2 missed and scattered away, 1 scattered and hit the knight behind and the knight in front, which is really great news. So we'll start with the knight in front, who has taken 4 hits. So 4 rolls on the destroyer table. Oh, that's what we want. So we've got 1 6 and 3 D3. So the 6 goes through and just auto destroys the knight with no iron shield saves able to be taken. Just for fun, it does 1 plus 6, so 7 whole points, so only just enough to kill it. The knight behind, we have a single destroyer attack to make against it, and that is a 2. So
all right,
shield.
4 up iron shield. It's failed.
D3 whole points, 2. Okay, we'll take that. 2 whole points dealt out. Next up in the Noctilus, we are going to shoot the macro Gatling cannon. 6 shots rang out, and we decided to carry on chipping away at the Magira that was behind the one that just died and has taken 2 whole points. Then we can bring down a second one. Out of the 6 shots, 2 scattered away too far to be of any use, and with the rest hitting and scattering not far enough, we ended up with 4 hits. Primary weapon, so we rolled 2 dice and picked the highest. It is strength 10 AP3. However, the iron shield means we drop down -2 for being a blast, so it is strength 8. So we need 5 to glance, 6 to dance, as they say. Primary weapons, we're going to do this 4 times. 2 dice pick the highest. That is 1 pen. That's great.
Okay.
Second, a glance. Third, nothing.
Whoa.
And fourth, nothing. So 1 glance and 1 pen.
What
All
do you
right.
want first?
Let's do the glance first.
4 up iron shield.
Nice.
Glance.
Ah.
Okay, so we do take 1 whole point.
End of turn 2 for Noctilus, a lot better. We've killed 1 knight and reduced 1 to half health. We need to keep chipping away. 1 a turn would be great for us.
House Malanax turn 2 movement, and we're suffering, as we knew we would be, at the hands of that Warlord, but we're still giving it a go. The Styrics on the right-hand side have moved up, ready to crest over that rock feature there. The Atropos has moved forward and is half obscured, hopefully, from that rock. The Magira that took damage has advanced forward, and the Magira here has just tucked himself behind that rock. House Malanax turn 2 shooting. Again, no shooting for this round. However, there will be shooting next turn, providing there are some knights left on the board to shoot. However, everyone moved forward as quick as they could. The Atropos rolling a mighty 15 on his flank march and has just crept up the side of that building to maybe get some shots off with that singularity cannon in the next turn. We'll see if we can brave the firepower. Last thing to do is the Blessed Auto Simulacra on the Magira. We need a 6 up, which we fail this turn.
Noctilus turn 3 movement, and we need to make some progress towards the city, so we've pushed straight forwards, no trying to flank or bring our weapons to bear against more knights, and we're just going to push through that gap and seize the city. Noctilus turn 3 shooting, and we're going to start with the macro Gatling blaster. We're firing at the Magira that's damaged directly in front of us, and we're going to see if we can fell it with our shooting. 5 shots hit, and primary weapon, 2 dice pick the highest. First, no, nothing. Second shot, that is 1 glance. Third shot, 1 pen. Fourth shot, nothing. And 5th shot, nothing. Same as last time, 1 pen, 1 glance. So do the glance first.
All right, glance, 4 up. Fail.
Goes through.
Whole point.
Pen goes through. Okay, we'll see what the penetrating hit is. It's 2, so that's nothing. So it's just 2 hull points. We'll have to rely on the laser blasters to bring him down. Next up, we have the laser blasters. 6 shots, 4 hit after scatters. So we have 4 rolls on the destroyer table. We need to take off a single hull point. So we can do, well, that's 2 6s, so that goes through. Let's see, just for fun, that's 5 more, so that's a lot of hull points. I think that's a very dead knight. End of Noctilus turn 3, another knight down, which is really good news, but we are very rapidly going to be within charge range, so we're going to have to see what we can do.
House Malak's turn 3 movement, and the knights have made a real break for it now. The Atropos has moved into the opening and will try and get some shots off if he can. The Magira also has advanced out from its cover. And then finally, the Styrics. 2 have got up onto that rock formation and will fire their Volkites down to strip some shields off that Warlord. And the other one there is just bringing up the bottom on the bottom of the hill. So a brave move for the Knights. Let's see what they can do. House Malak's turn 3 shooting phase, and the Magira targets the Warlord with its lightning cannon. It's hit, which is great news, and now we need a 5 to bring one of those voids down, which we are unsuccessful. Next to fire is the Atropos. It's going to use its Graviton Singularity Cannon. But first of all, we need to roll for the Collapsing Singularity, which was a 6. Fantastic news. The weapon has hit, so we are Strength 8 with Armor Bane to strip one of those Void Shields. And thankfully, one of those Void Shields has been depleted. Once that Vortex hits, we now need to roll to scatter it again, almost like a double scatter. It does go 11 centimeters, but that will just push it just the other side of the Warlord and will still clip it. Now we need to roll on the Destroyer table. We are praying for that lucky 6. Oh, okay, so it's a 2. So this will strip off a D3 hull points. Okay, that's not too bad. So we stripped off 3 plus the 1 from before. That is 2 left. Next to fire are the 2 Styrics. We'll do them separately. But they've got 5 shots from their large Volkite weaponry and require a 4 to hit. That was pretty good. Sorry, a 3 to hit, BS4. Their strength 8 versus armor 12, so we need 4s to glance. Oh, jeez. Okay, so we get 1, which takes it as 1 hull point, and then we've got 5 more shots from the one behind it, requiring 3s to hit. Miss with 2, and again 4s to glance. 5s and 6s don't matter because we cannot penetrate the armor value 15 of that Warlord, and that Warlord is now left with 0 shields remaining. Final action of the shooting phase was that Styrics. It ran forward 6 inches just to get to grips with that Warlord later on in the turns. On the whole, it's really great to see the Knights getting into some action there with the Warlord, and they will look forward to a charge hopefully very, very soon.
Noctilus turn 4 movement phase started with the roll for the Vortex from that nasty Singularity Cannon. Very luckily for us, moved sort of diagonally away from us and is now out in the middle of nowhere. Hopefully we can ignore it for the rest of the game. We've moved straight forward, again pushing for the city, and we're going to bring our guns to bear against the very threatening Atropos. Noctilus turn 4 shooting. We're going to open up with the Macro Gatling Blaster and see if we can do a bit of damage to that Atropos. After all the hits, we had 5 hits from 6 shots. Primary weapon, strength 8 effectively, so we need 5s and 6s to glance and pen. So first shot, nothing. Second shot, 1 pen. Third shot, 1 glance. Fourth shot, nothing. Fifth shot, double glance, so a regular glance. So 2 glances, 1 pen. If you do the glances first.
Glances first, we need 4 plus for the flare shield. Fail, that's not good. And the pen, 4 plus. Oh, fail.
However, it's only AP3, so we can't do any extra damage, so it's just 3 hull points. Next to fire, we have the laser blasters from the Carapace. We're being a little greedy, and we're going to split our shots and put them into the Styrics directly behind the Atropos. After 6 shots, 5 hits, we now have 5 rolls in the destroyer table. That's a single 6, that's what we need. So those go through its invuln. That is 6 plus 6, that is 12 hull points to the poor knight on its own, and it is completely caught out. At the end of Noctilus' turn, we have some Void Shields, or rather all of them to restore. 6 dice on a 5-up, we restore a Void. That's not bad at all. 3 5s, so we get 3 Void Shields back. End of turn 4 for Noctilus going well. We've killed another knight and brought the Atropos to half health almost. However, we are now in engagement range, so we'll have to see if we can weather the storm and the charges coming at us next turn.
Hasmanalak's turn 4 movement, and finally 2 of the knights are within striking distance of that warlord. We will get a good turn of shooting and 2 good charges if we're lucky. The 2 Styrics there on the terrain feature, one has gone in position to strip some voids, and the other one is bringing up the rear and will hopefully charge in the subsequent turn. Hasmanalak's turn 4 shooting. We'll start off with the Styrics that's up in the terrain feature there, requiring 3s to hit against the warlord trying to strip its void shields down. 4 good hits, and we need 4s to take those void shields down. Oh, jeez. Okay, we only get 1. That's not too bad. Next, we'll go on to the second one. 3s to hit. This is good. 4s again. We need 2 4s. Come on. And that is appalling. Not a sausage. Next to fire is the Magira with its lightning cannon. It's hit, and it's strength 7, shred and rending. So let's see if we can take that last one of the voids down, rather. Strength 7, that takes it to a 10. That is nothing, not good. The Magira also has a phased plasma fusil. Hits on 3s. That is a scatter dice. Oh, but it will glance the shield out on 6s. Oh, so close. Not a sausage. Next to fire is the Strassus Knight Atropos. He will use his Lascut in the beam function. It's a D weapon. It hits automatically. And rolling for damage, we get a 6, which is amazing. So that's 6 plus D6. Let's have a look. Okay, all right. So that's 6. That takes us to 11. So it will burn through those 2 void shields. And that causes 9 hull points. What an amazing round of shooting. The Atropos still has another gun to fire. It's the Graviton Singularity Cannon. First again, rolling Collapsing Singularity. It's not a 1 or a 6, so it's just standard. Let's roll to scatter. That is a hit. That's really good stuff. And this is Strength 8 Armor Bane against 15. And that is a penetrating hit. But there is a 5-up invulnerable save against shots from the warlord.
All right, 5-up invuln. No.
All right, we are AP2, so let's see if we can get an extra, which we don't, so that is just 1 more hull point. Hasmanalak's turn 4 assault phase, and at last, 2 of those knights have made it into base contact with that warlord, and they will swing first as the warlord is initiative 1. Starting off, we'll do the Hammer of Wraths from the Atropos and the Magira. Both strength 10, but armor value of the warlord is 15, so we need 5s to glance. That's a 10, that's great, and nothing. So another hull point caused. However, there is a 5-up save for reinforced structure from the warlord.
All right, 5-up. Not quite, no, so that goes through.
Nice. Striking first with 5 attacks is the Atropos, but due to towering monstrosity, it will hit the warlord on a 5. So fingers crossed, lots of 5s. Well, 2, we'll take that. 2's really good. It is a D weapon attack, which is really nice. So let's see what happens here. So we get a 5 and a 3, which are D3, but the warlord will get a 5-up invulnerable save.
Okay, reinforced structure. Let's see what we can do. 5-ups. 2 5-ups. Oh my word.
Jesus.
There we go. So shrugs them both off.
That is unreal. Next to strike is the Magira. Again, hitting the warlord on 5s with 4 attacks. Oh, just 1 this time. That's okay. But let's see what happens on the destroyer table. Oh, it's a 1. So that knight fluffs his attacks, unfortunately.
All right, the towering monstrosity rule really working in our favour there. We're only weapon skill 2. So, however, we're striking back. We have 3 attacks base, plus 1 for having an Ariok Power Claw. We're still hitting on 4s, however. We're going to target the Atropos. Oh, 1 out of the dice tray. Not a single hit yet. 1 hit. That might be all we need. It is a D strength weapon. A 2. So it's D3 hits. No Iron Shield save in close combat. So it's D3 hull points, 2 hull points. Not quite enough to kill it, but a good amount.
What an amazing round of combat it was between those three models. It was just mind-blowing. I honestly thought that the knights were going to do some damage to that warlord, but with the modifiers and everything involved, it just did not happen. No stomps from either side, so that concludes the combat. However, at the end of the Manalak's turn, the Atropos managed to regain 1 whole point thanks to the Blessed Auto Simulacra special rule. So good stuff there. In the next turn, the warlord can move away and fire, and then charge in again if it wishes to do so, but at least the knights might have a few more in range to charge in their next turn.
Noctilus turn 5, potentially last turn of the game. Movement, as predicted, we stepped backwards out of combat, our towering monstrosity rule coming into effect again, allowing us to disengage. We're going to shoot, hopefully thin the knight lance down a bit more, and then possibly, if the dice favour us, charge in again. Noctilus turn 5 shooting. We're starting with the Carapace laser blasters. We're targeting the Styrics directly ahead, and we've leveled 6 shots. After scatters, 4 hits. We have 4 destroyer weapons to roll against that Styrics. There we go. Once again, double 1, but a 6. That's all we need to get cut straight through the Iron Shield. 6 plus 4, 10 hull points from that hit alone that cannot be denied. Another Styrics down. Next to fire, we have the Macro Gatling Blaster, danger close, and he's going to fire all the shots into the Atropos. After the dust settled, 5 out of the 6 shots landed home, none scattered onto ourselves, which we were worried about. Strength 8 down 2 due to the Iron Shield. We need 5s to glance, 6s to pen, 2d6 thanks to primary weapons. So the first shot is a pen, second, nothing, third, nothing, fourth, nothing, fifth, nothing. Wow. So out of all those, a single penetrating hit. However, you do get your Iron Shield save.
All right, 4+. Look at that.
There we go. All right, nothing left to do but to dispatch these foes in combat. Noctilus turn 5 combat phase, and we make a successful charge into the Atropos on an 11, much more than needed. First things first, we have a Hammer of Wrath. Its base strength is D, which is very exciting. So we have a single Hammer of Wrath at a destroyer attack. 4, so D3 hull points. 2 hull points go on to the Atropos, taking it to 6 in total. It has a single hull point left. However, it then gets a strike back as we are only initiative 1.
We were lucky to survive that, but thankfully we have done, and we have 4 attacks into the Warlord, hitting on 5s. We need a better roll than last time. All right, we'll take 1, that'll do. It's a D shot. Let's have a look. Okay, that's a 5, not too bad. So it could be D3, but to get a towering monstrosity, 5 up invulnerable.
Yeah, reinforced structure.
Oh, that's it.
No, goes through, so D3 hull points.
Come on. Yes.
All right, 3 hull points suffered. It is down to 16 of its original 30.
Wow.
Finally, swinging in at a mighty initiative 1 and weapon skill 2, we have the Warlord's Ariok Power Claw. 5 attacks on the charge, hitting on 4s, 3 hits, and this is 3 destroyer weapon attacks. As long as we don't roll a triple 1, we should be fine. 1-1, but there's a 6 and a 5, so that is a lot of hull points. We'll have to calculate what the resulting explosion is and come back to you.
Let's see if the death throes of the Atropos can take some more hull points off that Warlord and see what happens. So we're going to roll the scatter dice on camera, see what happens. Okay, so it does lean into the Atropos, into the Warlord. That's good. So it's clipped it, and we'll roll on the chart to see what happens. Oh, there it is. That is a titanic explosion with a D at the center of that blast. And now we'll roll to see what we inflict on the Warlord. Oh, it's a 5. Not too bad. Towering monstrosity.
Yeah, D3 reinforced structure. No, doesn't shrug it off, so that is D3 hull points suffered.
Come on. Look at that.
Another 3, so that takes it down to 13 hull points remaining.
Holy hell.
End of turn 5 for Noctilus. Potentially that was our last turn. Pretty good. We've taken out the most dangerous knight on the table, and we've just got to brace for the volley of fire coming back in and inevitable charges next turn. Finally, rolling on the voids, we only managed to get back a single void, but it will hopefully help us protect against the incoming shooting.
Manalak's turn 5 movement, and we are down to 2 knights, 1 Styrics and 1 Majira. The Styrax has moved down off that rock formation. Bigger Knight is pretty agile and will bring his Volkite to bear. Unfortunately, he's too far away to make the charge. However, the Magira that got sneakily to the side of that Warlord will try and bring his shield down and then charge it with that Hecaton Siege Claw to take some hull points off. House Malanax turn 5 shooting. The Styrax has got one job to do, and that's to strip the final void off that Warlord. He needs 3s to hit with his extremely large Volkite weaponry. Look at that, that is a magnificent roll there. Only 1 miss. 4s to strip the shield. Oh, comfortably. Where was that roll we needed earlier? And that Warlord is now defenseless. Next to fire is the Magira. Its lightning cannon, it hit. And now we need a 6 to get anywhere near that whole armor value of 15. Which we failed, unfortunately. But it was worth a try. Malanax turn 5 assault phase, and that Magira has made it into combat with the Warlord. Amazing news. And now we'll try and see if we can strip some hull points. Starting the combat off, we have a Hammer of Wrath, which will inflict damage on a 5. Oh, that's a glance. Nice.
Glancing hit. Okay, reinforced structure. 5 up to deny. Oh, there we go. Bounces off the leg armor.
Holy hell. Let's get serious now. The Magira goes in with his 5 attacks, unfortunately requiring 5s to hit, but this is the last chance we've got to make an impression. Oh, we get 1 hit. That's not a bad start. D weapon. We roll a 6. That is unbelievable. Wow, what a turn up for the books. That Magira, the little knight that could. Unfortunately, the Warlord doesn't have 7 hull points remaining, but if we can whittle him down, that'll be great. So we're going to do the dice roll. We need another 6. So it's already suffered 6. Now we get D6. Oh, okay, so that's 9 in total. And that leaves the Warlord on 4 hull points. Amazing.
Absolutely brutal there from the destroyer weapon. We're down to 4 hull points from our 30. However, we get 4 strikes back at initiative 1 with our claw, hitting on 4s. That is 2 hits. That might be enough to do it. D weapon chart. No, that's D3, so that's 2D3. This is a 1 and a 6, so that is 4 hull points gone from the Magira.
Wow, we did an amazing job there to survive the wrath of that Warlord. And the Mechanicum will be happy with that result. All right, final thing to do at the end of this turn 5 for the House Malanax is we need to do Blessed Auto Simulacra on the Magira. Let's see if he gets it. Oh, so that was unfortunate. He got really close, but didn't quite manage it. Now we're on to random gain length. Let's see if the turn ends. Oh, it does on a 1. All right, we are going to toss up hull points and get back to you. Well, I don't know about you, but I think another couple of turns would have been very decisive. But turn 5, what a hell of a game.
That turned so quickly. That was a sort of shooting and running game for 3 turns. Yeah. And then very quickly, turn 4, 5, it just went into a sort of bloody melee.
Holy hell. I mean, that was just mind-boggling. I mean, we'll go straight into results because it's quite key to what we're going to talk about. The Knights did an absolutely amazing job, despite, you know, spending 2 or 3 turns of doing really nothing. But when that Warlord came through the 2 kind of rocky crags there, they managed to inflict a mighty 26 hull points. The Warlord had 4 hull points remaining.
Which is just madness, considering it has 30 base.
Yeah.
Technically, actually 36 hull points because you got your 6 void shields, which they actually stripped and reduced down to 0 multiple times. So actually they did more. They did quite a lot of hull points on top of that. But yeah, 26 hull points in 5 turns is madness.
Mental. Tell us about your Warlord.
Overall, the Warlord managed to kill 5 knights, one of which was the Atropos with 7 hull points rather than 6, which comes to a grand total of 31 hull points. Wow. Mostly, again, almost entirely from D weapons, I would say. Yeah. Destroyer weapons, just rolling out 6, that's a knight gone with no chance for redemption.
I mean, that Atropos had some amazing early rounds in combat, particularly with the beam weapon, did a phenomenal amount of hull points. I think it was 9, I think it was. But if it's always if, isn't it? If the Atropos hadn't rolled so many 1s on the destroyer chart, and Boris, you're saved for Towering Monstrosity, was it?
Reinforced structure.
Reinforced structure, excuse me. Unbelievable.
Yeah, he did a good job of reducing quite a few of those D3 damage hits, which again saved him. He only ended up with 4, so only needed to fail 1 or 2 of those and possibly would have been gone.
It was funny as well, because when we were totting up the attacks for the Warlord, we were looking at each other going, 4 attacks from a Warlord? That's mental, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah, 5 on the charge, which seems madness. But hey, he is weapon skill 2 and initiative 1, which is kind of hilarious, but I guess he's so big and slow that kind of reflects it. Weapon skill 2 on a Warlord seems bizarre, but it's how it is. It's so slow, it's easy to dodge, perhaps.
Yeah, maybe. Now, I thought that was really fun, and I think that answers the question that, yes, 30 hull points and 6 void shields is quite a lot. However, with a handful of knights and a couple of lucky rolls, you can really deplete the hull points on that Warlord. But also as well, if you're playing an Apocalypse game, 28 mil, 30k, and you've got some falchions, or you've got, a Fellblade, or you've got give me another super heavy, I can't remember one with a big Volkite gun on the front.
A glaive.
Glaive, yes. And if you've got a glaive, adding to that firepower and the pressure that those knights will put on the Warlord, I think it's doable.
I think so. I think the Warlord in particular is pretty unique because it can't be stuck in combat, because that's normally one way you maybe lock up a vehicle as you pen it in and it can just walk away and decide not to be in combat. 2, strength D, just base. So even if it doesn't have a melee weapon, its Hammer of Wrath as a destroyer attack is pretty unique. Armor 15. It's the only armor 15 in the entire game. It's just a crazy monstrosity, but it is about 5 or 6 Primarchs combined in points wise. It's an entire 3k army on its own, so it should be really.
It was amazing. There was a really cool point though where one of the knights, I think it was I need to look at my arm. A little bit behind the scenes secret, right? I cannot remember what is a Styx or a Magira, so I've actually tattooed it on the other side of my arm. So every time I was filming, I was just quickly slying a little look at my arm. But it is a Magira. So when that Magira went in for its charge, it's kind of just clanged into the side leg of the Warlord.
Yeah, the Hammer of Wrath didn't do very much. We just like to imagine it was a child at a soft play centre hitting a wall and bouncing off, making a big echoey clang off the leg armour of the Warlord.
Oh my word. It was so much fun. All right, so let's have a quick look to the future now. Boris, the next time you and I are going to be back with 30k AT will be for a special campaign that we've been working on really hard.
Yeah, lots of days behind the scenes, a lot of work on a special campaign booklet, which is nearing sort of 30 pages long already. Unique forces in more ways than in one, but unique forces, let's say that. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, we've got a specific board as well, which I previewed a couple of days ago with the Atropos, kind of the gates of that. It was like there was lots of Lord of the Rings references to the Black Gates, which I thought was brilliant. So that's game 5 of 6, but that content will be coming in May, so stay tuned for that. And then moving forward, there might be some aircraft and some tanks introduced to this 30k AT, and hopefully, if I get myself together, it might tie into a little campaign. So it's something I'm working on. But yeah, I'm really excited for this next 30k AT.
It should be crazy. It should be one of the more unique things we've done.
Yeah.
And really, really interesting story to tell. And really fascinating games to watch. I don't think we've ever play tested anything so much.
No. It's got to work, because if it doesn't, we've just wasted so much time on something that doesn't work. So a ton of work's been done, and Boris has put some amazing effort into the booklet. Armies have been commissioned, or say army, one army's been commissioned, and boards have been built. So it's pretty exciting. Anyway, Boris, if we want to follow your progress, where can we find you?
Instagram, pack_paints.
Fantastic, and the channel is always at the 30k channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you very soon.